Hello and welcome back to the GrianaigCreations podcast channel. This is episode 93. My name is Kirsty, my pronouns are they, them, and I am coming to you from a really gloriously sunny Paisley in Scotland. So let's get the weather chat out of the way, shall we? It is a scorcher, not as warm as it has been, but 22 degrees is still warm for Scotland. It's really gloriously sunny today, and I've had the windows open and closed and open and closed because the window cleaner came, so that was the first time I had to close them. And then literally started recording this and all I could hear was someone's dog going absolutely crazy, and unfortunately the owner shouting at it, so I was like, I really don't want that as background, so I've closed the windows again. And there just seems to be a lot of like flower puffs, I don't really know what they're called, just floating around, and we've had a lot of them in the flat, so maybe it's a good thing to kind of keep them closed for a little bit. But I just wanted to kind of get some air in here because this room, as I have said on multiple occasions, acts like a greenhouse. Like, it just absorbs the heat because the windows are so big. And it's great for drying clothes. Like, I've got the clothes horse in here drying away, and yeah, but it's not good for this natural ginger. It's too warm. Anyway, that's the weather chat out the way, I promise. And I have a couple of things to show off today. I did actually record my podcast yesterday, but my energy levels were about here yesterday because it's been a hectic weekend for me, and today my energy levels are sitting about here. So I thought, actually, do you know what, I'm not happy with yesterday's podcast. I'm just going to re-record my lunch break and just get it redone. So that should cut out a bit of rambling, and I will talk a little bit about what rambling I've done when we get to that project. But first of all, I would like to show off my finished cross-stitch project that I have been working on, which is the Star Characters Day at the Beach by GrianaigCreations. This was a project that was gifted to me for my birthday by my lovely friend Aileen, and she knows me. Like, she definitely knows me because she just saw this and was like, yep, this is the one, this is the project for Kirsty. And I got it finished. Now, bear in mind, I do still need to iron this, and then I would like to get a quote to professionally frame it. But if anyone does have a link to a video on how you can go about like mounting it and framing it yourself to have it look professional, please let me know, whether you drop that link in the comments below or if you contact me on my Instagram. All my socials are linked below. I just don't say them at any point in the video, but my socials are linked in the description box below. So if you do have something that you follow to mount and frame your own cross stitch, then please, please, please send that one to me, because I would love to be able to do it myself just to save a little bit of money. But I'm not opposed to getting it done professionally, depending on the price point. So here it is. This is the Star Characters Day at the Beach by GrianaigCreations, and as long as it's still in stock, I will link it below in the description box. But can we just zoom in on this little guy here? How cute is that little seagull? When I showed Scott, he was like, oh, it's Porg. I was like, no, it's a seagull. And then Darth Vader has his ice cream cone. And then we've got a sandcastle with a bucket and spade and a brolly right at the end. So I am over the moon with this. I just need to iron it and get it framed. And I wish, like, this is like a double-edged negative and positive. I followed the instructions for this to get the piece kind of right in the centre, which is that you just fold the Ada and then fold it again, and then you've got your centre point. Had I known like how what size this would have came out. I probably would have started it about an inch away. So I've got the selvage on this side. So I probably would have started it about an inch from the selvage, which means I probably could have had a piece of Ada left over about this size, like this width, which would have been perfect for another project. So I do feel like there is quite a lot of waste on this piece, and I don't know if it's just this size of Ada, like maybe this is a one-off cut. But then again, like, I feel grateful that the small business owner has provided so much Ada, because sometimes with kits you literally get like a centimetre of extra Ada at the sides, which, as far as I'm aware, and I could be wrong, is not enough to mount it properly or securely. So that's what I mean by, like, there's a double negative and positive there. Like, I wish I'd got a wee bit of extra Ada out of it, because I certainly don't have like a supply of Ada, but I'm also very grateful that there's more than enough Ada on each side, top and bottom, for framing. Sorry, my phone's going to keep buzzing. That's my work chat. We're having system issues today. Okay, so my next finished object is moving into knitting, and I am really happy to have this piece finished. But in true Kirsty fashion, the ends have not been woven in. Are we surprised? Like, come on, honestly. It is, there goes one of my projects, the Boring sweater. So it doesn't look like much when I hold it up like this, because the details are on the shoulders and the tops of the arms, and that's the detail there. You've got these really beautiful cables on the tops of each sleeve, and that is where the detail is. So this is the Boring sweater by Anna Freiberg, and I have knit this out of one of the very large 400 gram iron balls. So this is 75% acrylic, 25% wool. They're 800 meters per ball, and this was my second one, and I don't know exactly how much I took out of this. I would need to weigh what's left to find out just how much I used. But I really love this colour because you've got these really lovely flecks of tweed, like a tweedy yarn, and I think all the flecks just go really, really well with it. So I have tried on. I'm very happy with the fit, and I will insert a photo just about here. And you can see what it looks like on. But like I say, in true Kirsty fashion, there is ends to be woven in. This one seems stuck. How long is this end? Wow, that's a long end. Sorry, but I feel like there was something stuck in my throat. So I've knit this with the intention of it being kind of like mid-bum, mid-arse section. I wanted it so that it definitely wouldn't rise up and cause like a wee chill on my lower back, but I also didn't want it too long like a tunic. So I feel like I've kind of gone for a nice comfortable in-between. And I've also knit the sleeves so that they come to about roughly here on my hand. I have two go-tos. I either like long sleeves enough that it's either like this or that I can tuck my hand into, or I have to be able to roll them up to at least here. So mid-length? 3/4. Mid-length would be the elbow. So yeah, nice long sleeves for this one. And I think the only thing I would highlight to other people if they're thinking about doing this is it is quite a high neckline. It is a wide neck, but it is quite a high neck. So if you don't like it touching the base of your neck, you may want to consider a different neckline for this pattern. But I think it is a great pattern, very clear instructions, and this is by Anna Freiberg, who is Yarnistry. I will link all of their stuff down below, but their patterns are on Ravelry. So yeah, I think this is such a lovely pattern. There's so many nice details. Like, you've got quite steady increases and then like more rapid increases here. Or no, hang on. I don't know if I've actually figured that out right or not. I don't know. Don't ask me. But yeah, I love this detail on the sleeve. I think a lot of people put a lot of detail like on the front and on the chest, and they kind of lose that opportunity to put something nice on the sleeve and just have quite a delicate and simple pattern. So yeah, I will link all of the details for this down below, but for now I need to weave in all my ends, and then just because it is still so warm here, like it's only just the start of September, I don't know what I was expecting. I know what I was hoping for, but I don't know what I was expecting. Just because it is still so warm here, this will probably be being put away. I don't think that's good English. It's going to be put away until it is dramatically cooler, because it is just too warm to be wearing like head to toe woolens, or at least Aran weight yarn. Like, I'm fine with lace weight because this is a lace weight ranunculus, but an Aran weight jumper, I think I would melt. So yeah, that is my only finished knitting project. Okay, so sticking with the knitting, I know I said last time that I'd have a finished sock. That did not happen. I don't know if I have sock burnout. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm assuming it is a thing, or I'm making it a thing. But I don't want to knit socks. I don't want to knit them for me. I don't want to knit them for my mom. I don't want to knit them for my best friend. I can't. I am socked out. And it has taken a very long time for me to say that, but I am socked out. I don't even want to work on it as a simple cart project. So this got a little bit of love from the last time you saw it, but I have certainly not finished it like I thought I was going to. Because there was so little left to do, I really thought that I would have this finished for the next podcast, which is this one. And I haven't. I think I've maybe put an inch on this sock, under an inch, and it's been 3 weeks since my last podcast. So yeah, I've just lost my sock mojo. I really have. I don't know if it's this yarn, because it's very fuzzy, like really, really quite fuzzy, or it's just, maybe it's the needles. Maybe I'm just not enjoying my 9-inch circulars because I've got to squeeze my hands up quite a bit. Because when I do 9-inch circulars, I do that. That's how I hold mine. Like, I have that finger tucked under the outside, and then my pinky goes in, and then kind of the opposite on this side where my pinky's on the outside. So that's how I hold. Actually, I don't even hold it that much with my opposite hand. Like, this finger barely touches it. So I'm really only holding it with 2 fingers on this side. But yeah, I don't know. It could be socks in general, it could be the needles, it could be the yarn. I don't know, but I just don't want to knit socks. So which project next? We'll go with the Rowley. I have been loving working on this project. I decided to just randomly go back to it one evening, and I have to pay attention when I'm doing this project. I cannot be watching a movie that I want to really pay attention to. I cannot be watching a podcast I really want to pay attention to, or listen to a podcast. It has to be background music that I don't care about, like literally just noise for being noise. Or it needs to be a movie that I have watched 1,000 times. Slight emphasis. Like Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, for example. Like, I've watched them so many times, like I just have to hear parts of the music and I know where we are in the movie. So the only other option is if Scott is also in the room and he's playing a game that I don't care about, or he's watching wrestling that I definitely don't care about, or one of his shows that I have no interest in seeing. So it's definitely a project where I need to concentrate, and because of that, it's not something I can work on all the time. But, and let's show the right side. This is the Ravelry. I think I'm pronouncing it Ravelry. I don't know if that's right. It could be Rolly. And it is a shawl. Where is my iPad? I think I know the designer's name off the top of my head, but I just want to make sure I get it right. So this is Ravelry by Marie-Amélie Designs, and it was, I can't quote it right off the top of my head, it was a free pattern on Ravelry. So this is the right side, because again it's 2-colour brioche, so there's really no wrong side. And I am 1 repeat away from decreasing, which is really cool because last time you saw it, it was about here, just before this pink lifeline, because I forgot to put the lifeline in. So it's about 3 rows too far up. So last time you saw it would have been about here. So I've put on quite a decent amount of work. So I've done three repeats, excuse me. I've done 3 repeats. And I'm really, okay, maybe I'm 3.5 repeats away. I think I've got to do a section 3 again, and then a 2 and a 3. Yeah, I'm 3 repeats away from decreasing. And then I will be on the steady, quickly increasing end result, which I'm really excited about. So this is the opposite side. And I love both sides. I think I've picked colours really well for this pattern. And I'm not sure if other people would agree. Because when you hold them up, you either love it or you hate it. Like, there's literally no... It's the Marmite of yarns. Oh, that'll be the title for this one. The Marmite of yarns. So yeah, you either love it or you hate it. So this golden mustard yellow has stellina in it. So there's a gorgeous, very subtle sparkle. And this is from Woo Sheeps. Don't remember the colourway name. Don't have the tags in this bag. I wonder if I have the tags upstairs. I doubt it. The state of upstairs is in absolute disarray right now because we're moving furniture. Again, in case you hadn't noticed from this video. So this is Woo Sheeps. It is one of their 150 gram big boy skeins. Or what is it, big boy? But again, I don't remember the colourway. And then this beauty is from Queen of Pearls, who I don't think dyes yarn at all anymore. I know they were focusing on their university work, but I don't know if they dye at all anymore. And this was also one of their big 150 gram skeins. and if I have the tags, there are somewhere, but unfortunately that also means I don't know the colourway of this one either. But I'm hoping, I'm off in 3 weeks time, but Scott and I have the same week off, so I think we're going to try and like get out the house and do things together. So I don't know if I'll get a lot of work on it done in that week off. And like I say, it has to be during a time where I'm not doing anything, I'm not focusing, and therefore I don't always want to pick it up because I want to be focusing on other things. I want to be having a conversation with Scott or spending time with him. So it's a very tricky project in that sense. I want to work on it, but I don't always want to work on it. And then I've shown this bag off before, but I want to show it off again. I love it. It's my Baby Yoda or Grogu bag that I got out of Primark, and I think it cost like £4. And it was in their cosmetic bag area, and I was just like, it's mine, it's coming home with me. But then again, most things that are Grogu I want, so. Okay, I get to reach for the next one because it rolled away. So rude. And this one's going to be a little tricky to show off because there's 2 balls of yarn on it. And 1 ball of yarn is at one end and 1 ball of yarn is at the other end. Okay, so I always get the name of this wrong. That is the Stephen West one. That's interesting. I don't know where the pattern is for this one. I had it the other day. What is that? Nope. Okay, don't know where the pattern is. This whole flat is in absolute disarray right now, and it's kind of weirding me out. Okay, so this is, if I remember how the right way around, this is the Hooded Shawl Cardigan by Suzanne Summers, and at the moment I'm holding it upside down, so it looks a bit weird if I'm being completely honest, but I'm going to start with the Tale of Woe, which is not really a tale of woe. I wanted this to be my finished thing to wear and enjoy at Perth Festival of Yarn through in Perth, Scotland on the 10th and the 11th. Is it the 10th and 11th, or is it the 9th and 10th? I've got my days all jumbled. 10th and 11th, I was right. Which is this Saturday. I am recording on Monday the 5th, but that all depends on when you watch this, so it's maybe irrelevant. So there is just no way I am going to get this finished for Perth this weekend. I can be a fast knitter, but, and here's the thing, purling on this hurts my hand. So, Tale of Woe over. Now we're on to we tried something new and we're making progress. Last time I spoke about this, I had said that purling on this, because you knit 1 row, you purl back, and I had said that on my last project, that I was going to try Portuguese purling to see if I could work on it a bit more and for a bit longer each time. Because it really was to the point where I could only work a knit in a purl row maybe twice before I had to put it down again due to the pain. And Teresa came into the comments in the last one and said, hey, try Norwegian purling. I had never heard of that, so I definitely had to YouTube it and see what that was all about. I tried it, and maybe it's just because it was so new to me, but my tension, holy crap, was so tight. Like, I was definitely strangling my stitches. So I went back to my original idea of trying Portuguese purling, and it went Okay. The first time I done a roll, I don't think I realised that you still had to tension the yarn with your other hand. I thought having the yarn around your neck was going to be enough tension. I don't know why I thought that. And so my first roll was very, very loose. But you can't really see it, thankfully, because every few stitches I would pull on it to tighten them. And then I actually paid attention to the video that I was watching and realised she was tensioning it with her hand as well. And so I've been doing that for the last wee bit. I think I've done about an inch since I started introducing Portuguese purl. And unfortunately it is just one of those projects where I do put it down because I'm like, oh, I need something just a little bit different. I need to shake it up a little bit, but I'm making progress, slow and steady progress, and that's all I can ask for. And I've accepted the fact it's definitely not going to be ready for Perth because I still have 2 sleeves to do, I would still have the band to do, I still have the hood to do. Like, there's just too much to get done in 4 days. But let's talk about the yarn. So let's hold it up the right way. So this is my arms. The paler colour on the top is Unicorn Mane by Lovebugs Yarns. And then the solid purple is from Yarn to Cone in the Foxglove colourway, and that is one of their British yarns. And then this gorgeous colour down here, let's smooth that out a wee bit, let's reshuffle some stitches. So this gorgeous colour here is Squid Ink by Fiberpunk. And once I got past all the short rows, because most of this V here is short rows, so until you get to that point right there, you've got short rows on both sides before you start doing the whole thing. So once I'd got past the short rows, I started doing a knit and a purl row in one ball, and then a knit and a purl with the second ball. So you can see here that they are very different sizes because of the short rows that I had to complete. And I didn't see the point of trying to introduce a second ball of yarn during short rows, so I only done it once I was knitting the full weight across. So I still very much enjoy this project, especially now that I have I've changed over to Norwegian purling. Portuguese purling. I'm getting myself all confuddled here. I wonder how many times I've done that and not noticed. Whoops. So yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it now that I've moved over to the Portuguese purling. I'm not in pain. That definitely makes it more enjoyable. But it is a slow progress project. But I'll get there. I will get there. I'm not going to just put it down and not touch it. Okay. Ooh, that needle came out rather dangerously. Let's move on to the last knitting project, which had a lot of rambling in yesterday's recording because I just did not know what I was going to do. So let's fold in my choice. Let's hide what I decided to do, basically. And I had this to show off when I was podcasting, when I decided to record yesterday. And basically what was happening was I was working on the hooded shawl cowl, the hooded shawl cardigan, and I really needed, I needed a fast project, a small, portable, fast project. I needed quick satisfaction, and I didn't want a sock. Like I said earlier, I have lost my sock mojo completely. And my mind was just like, well, you have a shawl on the go, you have a sock on the go, you have some crochet hat. Okay, so my camera stopped recording without basically telling me. How rude. And then my door went because our window cleaner chapped the door. So I don't know where it cut off. I don't know at what point in my rambling it cut off. So hopefully by this point I will have done some nifty editing to match the two up. If not, bear with me. So I had decided that I needed a fast, simple project that was portable. I needed it for taking in the car and going out on Saturday, and then I just wanted something that was going to get me results quickly. If you heard that, that was my stomach. So I just needed something that was really, really quick, really, really simple, and that I would have an object within a couple of days. And obviously, as I've mentioned earlier, completely off socks. I have just hit an absolute wall with socks. I don't want to do them. Nah. And I didn't want a blanket that you can put together, so like a granny square blanket or anything like that. I wanted something knitted. I wanted something quick and portable, as I've already mentioned. So, excuse me. I decided on a hat, and then to add to my issues of all my limiting factors, the upstairs room is in absolute disarray right now. Hello.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hi.
I don't know if they'll hear that.
Hi. Did you say it was, did the door go?
Yeah, it was the window cleaner.
Oh, they finished?
Yeah.
It was just, I'm going to open my window.
I know. You could have opened it ages ago after you took the ladder down.
I couldn't tell because I've got one curtain shut, so I didn't want to open it and suddenly there's a guy's face back at me.
I'm like, oh, hi.
I would have punched the window and made him fall.
So, yeah, to add to all my, like, limiting factors, we are in the middle of reorganising and moving furniture around, not only in this room, but also in our room upstairs, like our spare room slash craft room slash Scott's office. And so I wouldn't have been able to wind yarn. It had to be in cake, ball or sock blank form. And that really reduces my options, to be completely honest. I don't have that many sock blanks as much as I love them. I don't have a lot of yarn caked up already. And most of the balls of yarn that I have are sock yarn, which is great as they are for on my feet, and I have no problem with the feel of it. It's too itchy for around my head and around my neck if I was to change to like a cowl. And so I was really, really limited to my options when I came across a sock blank from Gamercrafting. And I started a hat. I was initially going to do the Ross hat, which is a very simple hat, and I've knit it several times already. And that calls for a 3x2 rib for 4 centimetres or 1 inch. And I think you can tell from here that this is a lot longer than 1 inch. I have gone for 10 centimetres of ribbing. And I was on the fence for the longest time because, as you can see, there is a bit of a gradient starting, which is really, really lovely. Like, I really love how this is looking. And if I'd done a folded brim, you lose a lot of that. Like, you just cover it up completely. Like, it's all hidden away. So, for the longest time I was on the fence. I was like, right, okay, I will just do a slouchy 3x2 ribbed hat. Simple. Straight to the point. I could even have stopped at the 10 centimetres of ribbing and then just gone to straight stockinette and still done a slouchy hat. But there was just something in me, like something, my entire being was just being like, do a cabled hat. Do another cabled hat. You thoroughly enjoyed the last one you done. It was very straightforward, very simple. You could watch a movie, you could have a conversation-ish. But I can't read patterns in the car. I can't. I get horrific car sickness as it is. Don't add reading on top of that. It's just not a nice combination. So I got all the car knitting out the way. That was all on Saturday. And then on Sunday was when I was kind of like, right, okay, make a decision. What are you going to do? And this is where all the rambling comes in place. Which would seem I've not reduced it. It's the same amount of rambling as on Sunday. So I have previously knit the Lake Reed hat. It is a gorgeous free pattern on Ravelry. I will put all the information down below because I'm really now strapped for time, so I can't keep searching for everyone's proper names. All the information and links will be in the description box down below. So like the designer's name, all of that, it will be in the description box. And so I was just sat for the longest time being like, right, okay, we could in essence lose the start of the really nice shift in colour, like the gradient. We could lose that but still have a really gorgeous cabled hat, or we could just either keep going with a 3x2 rib and have a slouchy hat, or we could have 10 centimetres of ribbing and then go into a stockinette slouchy hat. Those were my three options. And then I picked up this yarn that I'm pretty sure I've showed off before. I think this is the Sally colourway by Athos Yarns, who is Laura, who's going to be at Perth Festival of Yarn with her yarn, which I'm so excited about. And I looked at this and I mentioned this on yesterday's podcast when I was recording, which I'm now re-recording so you won't see it. But I was saying, like, had I been able to cake yarn up, I maybe would have knit the hat in this yarn. And I had a real good think about it, and I was just like, I don't know if this yarn would lend itself well to cables. Whereas I think the cables would get lost in this with the ever-changing colour. So you've got a lot of different colours changing in this, and it would be different per stripe. Whereas the way this sock blank has been dyed, it's more like a gradient, which means there's going to be a bit of a fade. And so I thought that this hat will be my cabled hat. And so that's what I've started. I've started the cables. So this is going to be the Lake Reed hat once again. And you know the really ironic thing about this and this project and this yarn and the yarn dyer? My last Lake Reed hat was also knit in a DK yarn from GrianaigCreations. I did not plan this. This could not have been planned at all. I just grabbed the first convenient soft yarn that I could wear on my head without any itching. And I just thought that maybe this was definitely meant to be a cabled hat. I could be reading far too much into it, but that's what it feels like. It feels like this was meant to be a cabled hat, again, with GrianaigCreations yarn. Although this is technically a sock weight, but this sock blank is held double, so I'm doing it as a DK. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting, and it took me a very long time to decide what to do. So this is going to be my cabled hat, and then this is going to be my slouchy hat. Oh, my nails got caught. Okay, so we have a slight another tail. I think I've got a snag. I've got another slight tail of wool. I've not had the best. Sorry, I'm just going to tuck my leg up so that I'm not shaking the camera. I've not had the best time with a lot of my projects recently. They either hurt my hand. Two of my projects currently hurt my hand. One of them you don't get to see because it's the sweater from my mum. So they either hurt my hand, I don't want to work on them, the sock, I run out of yarn, this hat, or something else. Like blankets, too heavy to work on, it's still far too warm for blankets. So a lot of my projects are just kind of now in limbo, shall we say. They're properly in limbo. And this hat really was the catalyst. I had decided I wanted to make a witchy hat to wear all of October, probably sometime in September, and then also probably the start of November, and maybe just all the time, because it's going to be awesome. And I found this really awesome pattern with a really quirky hat, and I mean quirky. And I found a ball of yarn, I held it double because it called for Aran weight, and a 6mm needle. Now I have a big noggin, so I've had to increase a wee bit more than the pattern states, which is a contributing factor. But I literally only have this much yarn left. And I still have probably about that much to do, and then a brim. So I do not have enough yarn to finish this hat. And I went on a yarn hunt. I went to try and get some more yarn. And I don't have the ball band. I barely remember, like I have a vague memory of the brand of yarn. And I went to 3 different places local to me, and they didn't have it. And my mum's given me a suggestion for another place fairly local that I had completely forgotten about. So I've still to try there, but I won't be able to try there until a week on Saturday. So until then, this hat, which I know you cannot see properly, let's see if I can tilt you back a little bit. There you go. So until then, unfortunately, this hat is on hiatus and will be put back in limbo for a little while, just till I can get to the other local place to meet. Otherwise, I need to go back down to my parents and go to my old LYS, which I don't mind going to. That makes it sound like I don't want to go there. It's just with the price of petrol right now, I don't want to go further than I have to. Especially if I can't contact them in advance to be like, hey, do you have this yarn? Because I don't remember what the brand is. I don't have the ball band to say, hey, do you have this colour by this brand? Like, I don't have any of that information. So I'll try the more local place, and then if they don't have it, then I will get down to my old LYS and see if they have it. Like, I literally took the hat when I went shopping and just walked around the shop trying to match it up colour wise, which is what I'm going to have to do at my other place, at the other yarn shop. So, last project? Yep. Because I went yarn shopping for the hat that I couldn't finish and I want a hat, I decided to pick up yarn to make the same hat. And I went with Kinko Chunky in the tweed. And this is the yarn I have chosen. So this is the ball band. And you can see the nice tweedy flecks of yarn in there. There's just something about me and tweed right now. Like, it's really nice. And I've only just started, so it looks a bit weird at this stage. Like, so that is your pre-warning. This is what I got. So in the one I have, the mustardy orange one, I do have a pipe cleaner at the top of it to kind of make it do that curly thing. And I don't have one in this just yet. So I will be putting another pipe cleaner in this and then shaping it more so that it's a lot sturdier. If I had like jewellery wire, like thick jewellery wire, I might have used that. But I feel like a pipe cleaner is maybe the safer option, and it would also kind of bulk out the the space inside as well, so there wouldn't be any movement. There'd be less risk of it poking through as well. So yeah, I have started the next one because I do want this hat. Maybe that will be my Perth thing. Maybe I'll have this finished for Perth. That would be awesome. That would be really, really awesome. So yeah, maybe I'll be working on this the rest of the day instead of something else. Oh wow, that actually wasn't my work. Oh, I've got to go back to work. Okay, so Perth is this weekend. I'm really excited to go through. I have a little bit of money in my savings because I do want a sweater's quantity from Lammermuir wool. If I can get that, I will be happy. But I need to do my math. I need to really like find a pattern that I really want to do that in, and then get the, like do the math, make sure I've got the right size to get the right yardage, and then obviously overestimate by maybe like a skein. Oh, my stomach's really rumbling. I should have eaten before I recorded. But yeah, I need to do the math. I need to find the pattern, I need to do the math, and then we will see how feasible getting a sweater's quantity is. But that is the dream, to get a sweater's quantity of Lammermuir, because I got to squish it at the Wool Producer Showcase last year, and it was earlier this year. I think it was earlier this year. I have no sense of time passing. Like, I don't know if it's linked to my dyslexia or something, but I have no sense of the amount of time that has passed. So if I have got that well off, please forgive me. But it's something I've tried to work on over the years, and I can't. I physically can't. It's like there's a blockage in my brain. But yeah, Perth is this weekend. I'm so excited. I get to see so many of my friends, and I am going to be buying a couple of things, but I am also going to be very careful with money due to some personal circumstances. But stay tuned, there will be a video as standard. I always record at Perth, and I just love to share the event with all of you, even whether you were there or not, or you're just not able to get through. So do stay tuned for that video. I'm not going to be rushing to get it up like Saturday night or Sunday, but it will be coming in the days after Perth. I'm only going to be there for the Saturday, so if you're going to be there, please say hello if you see me around. Scott will be with me as well. Maybe don't say hi to him straight away because it might freak him out. Let's ease him in a little bit. Like, he's been to a lot of the festivals, but we still got to be gentle with him. So please say hi if you see me around, and if you're going, let me know. Do you have any shopping, like, do you have a shopping list already? I have looked at the floor plan, but I haven't paid an exceptional amount of attention to it, because I am not the person that makes a shopping list and goes, right, I have to go to this stall, I have to go to this stall. I'm going to work my way around. Like, that's just my way of working. I will work my way around. I normally try and do one lap, and then I will start my purchases. But if it's something I see that is in limited supply, then I will go get it on the first pass. So yeah, now I'm rambling. I really do have to go back to work, unfortunately. But thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do think about subscribing. I know a lot of us podcasters say that, but it really does help us be found by other people. And also, if you hit the thumbs up button, which is the like button as well, it doesn't really show afterwards. Like, you don't now see like a tally of how many people like it or dislike it, but it still helps the algorithm in the background. I know I said the dreaded A word, the algorithm. But please do hit the like button. Do subscribe, because you will get notifications when I put up new podcasts or videos. And until next time, please stay safe. Bye!